to It's a Fulbright Friday with LP and LT. This has just been such a great experience already.
Oh, I know. I can't even begin to tell you how much support we have received. We've had at least 4 or 5 views of the YouTube channel. We've had at least 2 likes. We just are so thankful for your support. Like, it's outstanding.
It means a lot.
Yeah. So last Friday was our first Friday to really sit down and inaugurate the Fulbright advising season. And we had the opportunity to experience
Georgetown Day. That we did, LT.
What were your impressions of Georgetown Day?
You know, there was just so much to take in and experience. It was just so much joy.
It's hard to put into words, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really hard to put into words. So, you know what? Instead of trying to describe it to you, let's just show you what our experiences were of the day with our highlight reel. Steve, roll the tape. Steve!
She's right here.
Sun chicken down there.
None of you.
Resist.
Dancing.
What a day Georgetown Day was. Just so incredible for us with between the games and the free food and everything like that. Well, now we're actually going to go to our programming section of Fulbright Friday, and we actually have LT standing by in the Orange Room to provide us with some social media content. So LT, over to you.
Thanks, LP, and welcome to the social media room. We've just had a tweet in. We have an individual tweeting out to us asking about too much time spent in country. Really, really interested in going to India. However, this individual has spent some time there. He's done study abroad for 6 months already and thinks, given the Fulbright's emphasis on exposing individuals to new countries for cultural immersion, is that too much time in country? LP, what do you think?
Thank you at Headstands12 for that tweet. We get this question all the time. Like, really?
All the time.
All the time.
Well, answer it.
So actually, time in country can make you a more competitive candidate for the Fulbright. The reason being that you already have exposure and knowledge of country customs, norms, even for research grants that can really help as you're approaching your research. You already understand some of the organizations, structures within country. So that actually can be a plus. Fulbright is just looking for someone who's going to treat this as an opportunity to learn more deeply engaged in the country. So that previous time in country is just a starting point, but it doesn't make you ineligible by any means. If, however, you had spent like 8 years, something like that, a lot of time in country, then that would be more of an issue. But study abroad experience can make you great. Make you good to
If you have
go.
questions, sign up for an advising appointment with
one of us,
LT.
your illustrious host.
LP.
And LP.
Let's talk some more about country selection.
Steve, globe me, please.
Thanks,
I've
Steve.
just always wanted to spin a globe and pick a country, so I'm just gonna do that right now.
This is how you pick a country?
Yep. Oh! I've always wanted to go to Romania. Where is it?
Have you ever studied Romania?
No, it just seems cool. I
Do you have any regional
red,
interests?
yellow, and blue. I love
Did
the
you want to go to
location.
Colombia instead?
No, I like this one.
Yeah. So let's talk about country selection, right? There are a lot of different opportunities, many opportunities in many countries. Over 140 you can participate with the Fulbright program. Although one way not to pick your country is to spin the globe, and wherever you land is where you go, right? Probably not going to make the best rationale in your essays. So there has to be some cultural, in addition to professional or academic objective that you have in wanting to go to that country. So sometimes that can be developed through some research and some discernment, or sometimes you naturally have expertise that's been built up in interest in a certain space, and that then would make you a little bit more likely or competitive, because that's part of approaching the essays is having a good rationale. Spinning the globe, no. Sorry,
It's just fun.
you're not
But
going
you
to
can
Romania.
spin the globe in other times.
Yeah. Guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for our hot tips and country highlights.
I love this part.
Yep. As you can see, today we're featuring India. There's a couple of reasons you might want to consider India as a country to apply to for your Fulbright. One of the reasons is because there are over 65 research grants available.
You heard that right.
65.
Yes.
There are oftentimes not that many comparatively. So 65 is probably like one of the top highest number of grants that are available, which means
for research study.
For research study.
In country.
Which means that depending upon the proposal you designed, it could be very favorable for you to apply there.
Yeah, and there's some other good news about India.
What else is good about
Georgetown is
India?
rocking it in the India competition. Let me just give you some stats right now, if I may. So in 2018, we had one research study recipient. 2017, we had one research study recipient. 2016, we had two. And 2015, we had three. So
That's
we're
a great
just
history.
on a streak with the research study awards in India.
Yeah, and it's also important to know that some countries are perhaps have slight preferences for the graduate level proposal, but in India, we've had all levels have success. So the seniors right now designing an independent research project up through master's level and PhD candidates. So really, this could be a really interesting space. And the language requirement, as long as the proposal can be completed in English, you do not have to necessarily have an Indian language to do your research there. So there's a lot of reasons to at least consider India as a country of choice.
Yeah. And something else to note is that if you're thinking about India or any other one of the 140 countries, we actually have binders upon binders of successful Fulbright applications. So you can come in and review the past successful applications and get a sense of like what works, the structure for like grant proposals for research study or ETA, and go from there. I'll give you some great insights.
And lastly, if you do end up applying to India, you receive an Indian grant, you go abroad and come back, can you please come back and tell us how to play cricket? Do you know how to play cricket?
No.
I just do not understand. There's these like wickets and
Yeah.
there's bowling.
But I think
Bowling
it
for
requires,
me
like,
is
too
kind of like an
much-
alley, Big Lebowski style. I don't
Oh,
get the
yeah.
whole.
Like bowling I'm okay at. I don't
No,
think I
it's
have
like
the-
that's what they call it.
Oh. Oh, when
In
you do
cricket,
like
yeah.
this? Oh, okay.
Please
yeah.
help us.
Help us.
Win an Indian grant, come back and culturally inform us.
Yeah. But now, actually to conclude, we still only have one question from a fan.
One question.
One question. People seriously need to email fulbright.georgetown.edu and ask us questions that we can answer.
Yeah, so this is from the other second person that's watched the
other
clip.
second person who liked us on
Okay,
YouTube.
we're gonna have no questions next week.
The question of the day is, what is your irrational fear?
Ooh, you know, like I've known you for long enough that I have like
You know
4 or
mine.
5 that you probably could pick from, but surprise me.
So, I'll highlight 2 actually.
Okay.
So one is deep water.
Oh.
I just don't like the idea of things like swimming beneath you and just like being out in the middle of the ocean. That just
Well, you made a splash with that response.
haha. Just don't like it. Whales just seems unnatural. I love whales, but like something that large.
But like who like you're fearful of. When have you ever been deep water diving and there's been a whale
I've
around?
never been
That's
deep water diving.
really.
This is why it's kind of irrational because like also
You wouldn't. Oh, that's the irrational
yeah,
part.
I mean like I would never put myself in this situation, but then
Yeah.
also
Okay. And the
you're not
second
supposed to
one?
be afraid of whales or sharks, but like
I think
maybe
you
sharks.
are. Sharks, yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Yeah. And then the second one
Your
is
name's
having
Jonah.
the second one is having subway or metro doors shut on me and not open again.
Yeah, that's more like a rational fear if you're on
Yeah,
the
I think it
metro
is.
here.
Like especially when people get their backpacks like stuck behind
Yeah.
the closing doors, that's a bit terrifying.
That is terrifying.
So what is your irrational fear?
I'd have to say death.
Wow, that just left us on a gloomy note, but morbid.